There are a lot of ways that we can do this, choose a target market, but understand that I've been doing this a long time, so we're not going to, I want you to be a success with the first membership site that you set up. So since I have done a few of these, what you want to do is start with what you know. What that means is you have to get in your mind, like you're going to be dealing with this thing day in and day out. You're very likely going to be related intimately with your website. You're going to, probably learn a lot of things, because what I recommend to people is always the very first one, set it up yourself. It's not that hard. It can actually be a great learning experience. And then you know a little bit more of what's involved. You'll know more of what you would like to see. And if it works out really good for you and you decide to branch out and do another membership site, then you're going to, even if you have somebody else do a lot of the technical stuff, for example, you'll know how to give direction and you'll know what you want and how you want it to work, because there's a lot of ways that you can do just about everything. So you're going to be involved in this. You want to start with something that you know. If you are a carpenter and you've been building houses all your life, then consider things like that. Consider knowledge that you have. The fact is, with information marketing, all that we are doing is we're taking knowledge that we have and we're selling it to someone who doesn't have that knowledge. Now, in the old days, it used to be an apprenticeship where you would go and you would work for somebody and you would learn how to do what they know how to do for either no pay or very little pay during your apprenticeship while you're learning how to do it. Well, nowadays what we have is people pay money to learn how to do something. So do not take it for granted or underestimate anything that you know how to do, because there are today people out there that would like to know how to do that, and they don't. And they're going to do some searching, and they're going to look around, and they're going to try to find the things that they need to learn how to do it. So if you can offer that to them in a nice, neat, tidy fashion and bundle it together with the membership perks that we're going to be talking about in our training here, you got a winner. You've got people who want to know what you know how to do, and they're going to pay in order to do that. So we're going to start with what you know, and I don't suggest, if you know how to do a lot of different things, I'm going to have a checklist for you, so you're going to actually be able to kind of weed that list down to the most potential, the one that looks like it's going to be the easiest. But pick something that you enjoy doing. Okay. If you're a welder and you work on an assembly line and you're like a really great welder, but you can't stand it, then you don't want to, get into doing something that, you're not really happy about. By the way, you're going to start with what you know, but we're not going to limit it to that. Okay. We'll deal with that on the next slide. Bookstores and libraries are excellent places to choose target markets, or at least get some ideas. Because here's what you can do. One of my all-time favorite ways to get an idea of a market is to go to a big bookstore, and I mean huge, right? Like a humongous Barnes & Noble. Go to the magazine section and just look. Seriously, you know what you can do? If you absolutely can't think of anything, close your eyes, spin around, just point at the wall, open your eyes, and whatever magazine you're pointing at, there's your niche. It really is that simple. If there's a magazine, this is actually my 30-second do or die test. I'm giving you a head start. But if there's a magazine for something, that's just about a guarantee. So go to a bookstore, check out libraries, look at all the content that's there. These are things that typically, it's at least a great place to start. But with a magazine, for example, if somebody's gone to the trouble, you know how expensive it is to publish a magazine? If they've gone to the trouble of doing that, good chance that you got a big niche. And if there's like 5 or 6 magazines within that niche, slam dunk. Compile and sort your list of potential markets just based on, what you know, ideas that you've seen at the bookstore or the library. So you've got this huge list now, right? We're going to start to even build on that list a little bit more. Here's some specifics with the what you know stuff. You might think, I said, start with what you know, and you're standing there and you might be going, I don't know nothing. I just punch numbers at work and I don't know anything. You do. Listen. Start with hobbies and interests. What are the hobbies and interests that you have right now? So it doesn't really have to be something that you know how to do, but something that you're interested in doing. If, for example, you're fixing to get into, bird watching, I don't know. If that's something that you've always had an interest in and you'd like to pursue that, then by all means, write it down. I don't know about you, but I want to do something with my life that I enjoy doing. And did you know that you can build up an entire business based solely on something that you enjoy doing? How about that for a novel idea? Absolutely you can. You can be very lucrative just doing something that you enjoy doing. And by all means, if I could help one person to better their life by doing something they truly love and making a living at it, then my mission is complete. What would I love to do every day if I didn't have to work? Whoa, how about that one? So now you're going to sit there and you're going to think, I don't have to work. I got all the money that I need. What would I like to do every single day? Because you're going to be dealing with it. Now, you're not going to do it every day. You don't have to go out and do it every day. But what would you be happy doing every day if I had the opportunity? Like, for example, with me, maybe I play racquetball 2-3 times a week. Would I like to play racquetball every single day? I probably could, and I wouldn't get tired of it. What about I got my pilot's license last year. What about flying every day? Could I fly every day? I sure could. Yeah, I could go flying every single day. So could I set up a membership site and really get into that? Yeah, I could. Here's the thing. You have got the people that are successful in this are people that are passionate about what they're doing. So if you're kind of indifferent about something, that's not going to work. You have to be passionate about it. I love playing guitar. I don't, unfortunately, have as much time as I'd like to play guitar, but I could do it every single day, and I wouldn't get tired of it. That's for sure. So I could set up a membership site for playing guitar, and that would be something that I actually I've been meaning to do that for a while, but I got so much other stuff going on. That would be a great membership site if you're into playing guitar. Anything that you would have an interest in that you could say, honestly, I would love to do this every day. Maybe there's something you do every day. By all means, give that a consideration because you're going to be passionate about it. And that's one of the things that, one of the key ingredients to being a success with a membership site is you being passionate about it. What are some of the real life experiences and achievements that myself, have gone through or attained? If there's anything that you have done, maybe you went through bankruptcy, or maybe you were facing bankruptcy and you got yourself out of it without having to file. Maybe you got, like me, you got your pilot's license. That was a great achievement for me. Anything like that is attractive because there are other people that want to do it. And don't you think that they would like some help from somebody who has already gone through it? Absolutely. Maybe you were 150 pounds overweight and you lost it all in 6 months. Oof, that would be tough, huh? That would be fantastic if you can share that with other people. That's exactly what we're wanting to hit on. So just give it a thought a little bit. Is there something that I have, a difficulty I've come up against? Maybe you were $15,000, $20,000 in debt on your credit cards, and you got it paid off in like a year, and you want to share with people how you did that. There are other people out there right now that are in debt that much, and they want to know, they want your experience, how you went through it. What problems have I solved in my life? Look back through your whole life and think, where did I come up with a problem and actually get a solution for it? Really, there are a lot I mean, this covers so many areas. Listen, it doesn't matter what you have done. I mean, there are so many areas that this covers. If there's anything you've tried to do and you solved a problem, it could be on the work, at the workplace. It could be a hobby that you have. It could be something around the house. It doesn't matter. Something that you have solved. Write that down. Is there any problems that I have not solved in my life? That's actually a really good one. You know why? Because there's a wound there for other people more than likely. And if you can build around that, offering advice on how we can, get a workaround or deal with it, learn to cope with it, or if there is a solution, having discussions on how to solve the problem, that's something that people would really, really jump into and get involved, because it's something that's emotional. It's something that, they're having difficulty and they're struggling with it as well. Now, once you get this list done, and this, seriously, anybody, I believe, can make a pretty big list from just these things right here. It doesn't take much. And you might not think you've actually accomplished anything, but, in life, maybe there's nothing you can write down. But really, if you give it some thought, I think you'll be able to come up with something. If, however, you grew up in Siberia and you never had any interaction with other human beings, and I can't even imagine that would be the case, right? Because you would definitely come up with some difficulty and have to overcome it. But you know what? One thing about successful people, a lot of times, because of their mindset, they solve problems, they jump over, hurdles, and don't even think about it and can't even recognize it. There are things that, like, people, if you're like that, people probably look at you and are like, boy, I wish I could be like that. But you don't even realize it. You don't even notice that you're dealing with difficulties in solving problems. So, if that is the case, and you can't think of anything, think about your friends and family. What hobbies does blank have? Put the name of somebody in your family there, or put a friend there. This allows you to step back and look at somebody else. What hobbies do they have? What are some of the real life experiences that your friends and family have gone through? Do you have a friend that had cancer and he beat it? Something like that. What problems has Johnny solved? What problems has Johnny not solved, for that matter? What difficulty, what things are people struggling with? What are they going through? Look at your friends and family, because that's going to allow you to step out of yourself a little bit and not be confined to that me mentality where maybe you can't think of anything. More than likely, you're going to, by this point, have a pretty big list. And honestly, I'm suggesting you write down everything that you can possibly think of for all of this stuff. Now, we're going to build on that and expand your horizons even more. What I suggest that you do, the sites that I'm going to give you right now, are going to be used as somewhat of a qualification for the things that you've written down, but you're also going to use them for more ideas, because here's what's going to happen. A lot of times you can't think of something and you need a mental trigger. The sites that I'm going to pull up here in just a minute are going to be that mental trigger for you. They're going to let you see things that you didn't think of. Okay, for example, ehow.com. That's a site where just people go and they do tutorials on how to do stuff. People request tutorials. If somebody out there is requesting how to do something and somebody has put together a tutorial, guess what? Okay, people are interested. Now, you're thinking, well, they'll just go to eHow. Well, you just go there and you see the quality of all the stuff there, and you'll find out that, you don't have anything to worry about. But it shows us that people are interested. Plus, just because, all that means is competition, and competition is not a bad thing. I would rather be in a niche that had pretty hot and heavy competition than one that had no competition at all, because competition means there's a lot of people that are interested in it. mygoals.com, soyouwanna.com, hints and tips. These are all the same kind of thing. videolearning.com. Great place to get ideas of content that you can create, things that people are interested in. eBay, you can go there. You can check out eBay Pulse. You can just go on eBay and see what's pretty hot and trendy there. Magazines.com. The next slide is going to reveal my do or die, my 30-second do or die test, where you will see where magazines.com totally comes in. But basically, go there, type in your keyword, and see what comes up. Or just go there and browse. If you can't think of anything, go there and browse. So as you're going through these sites, like maybe there might be things that you have not thought of, but you're going to see a magazine, for example, on some kind of hunting magazine, and you'll go, Bobby is a deer hunter. Things that you didn't really think of, but it's going to trigger it. Magsdirect.com, MrMagazine.com, SubscriptionConnection.com. All of these, same kind of thing. Lots of mental triggers and ideas. I have made this literally so that a troll under a bridge will be able to, go through this and think of something that is going to end up being a great market to set up for your membership site. Here is the 30-second do or die test. Simple as this. Is there a magazine or association that serves this market? So here you've got your list, and more than likely it's going to be pretty big. All you have to do is go to Google, type in a keyword and the word magazine. Or go to Google and type in the keyword and the word association. If sites come up, and if you can see, or magazines.com, if you go there and you can see magazines in that niche, it's basically a slam dunk. If you can find magazines for that keyword term, for that idea that you had, then there's going to be a lot of interest because, like I said before, it's very expensive to coordinate and get set up and print a magazine. They only do that if there's going to be a large circulation, like very large. And with some niches, you will find there are actually multiple magazines. That is a killer situation, because what it means for you is that the market was so big that one magazine couldn't service it. So they had to have, Guitar Player, then they had to have Guitar World, Acoustic Guitar Player, Electric Guitar Player, all these different, I can't even tell you all the guitar magazines that are available. And what does that tell you? Tons and tons of people. And so that's a good thing. That means I set up my membership site. And don't be scared if there's already a membership site for there. Most of the time there will be. That's not a big deal. In fact, you can actually work with those people. And we'll talk about that a little bit later on. But so even having a competing membership site, not a big deal at all. All right, something for you to do now. Here's where we're going to just go out. Make sure that you've got at least 10 target markets that you came up with from the last two steps. The looking for your stuff, your interests, and for your friends and family, and then whatever. Do a 30-second do or die test on some stuff, and narrow it down to at least 10 target markets that pass that 30-second do or die test. Okay, so you're going to have, I imagine, okay, you might have 30, 40 things written down by the time you go through all those things that we talked about. But make sure that you do the qualifications. Go to Google, type in a keyword in the word magazine, see if there is a magazine for it already. If there's not, don't write it down, scratch it off. But you want to get to where you have at least 10 target markets, 10 potential markets for you that pass that 30-second do or die test. It's not going to be hard, trust me. All right, coming up next, we're going to see how we can take that list of 10 and pick the one that's going to be the first membership site that you set up. Okay, so we've got your list now of at least 10 markets that pass the 30-second do or die test. And if you don't have those, I want you to stop right now. I mean it. You pause this video and you go and you do it right now, because no point in going on here. You got to be a doer, not a hearer. Okay, what we're gonna do is now start to weed out some of the markets and it's not that we're saying any particular market is a bad choice, but what we're wanting to do is find the absolute best match for us that has the greatest potential of success. I'll be honest with you. You could set up a membership site and it not work out. Very possible. Okay, so we want to give it the absolute best potential or opportunity, I should say. Review the traits of a good versus a great market, and then look at your list of 10 or more markets that you've written down. In evaluating each one of these markets, what you want to do is scratch off all the ones that are just good. If there is a market where you can't see that there's a need for ongoing support, scratch it off. So review those traits, narrow your list down a little bit, and then scope out the affiliate networks. See if anybody else is already offering something similar. And again, that does not mean, as a matter of fact, what we're looking for is we hope that there are membership sites available for that niche. Go to ClickBank, go to CJ, go to Modern Click. You are looking for other people doing it, because if somebody else can do it and they are successful, that means you can be too. If there's absolutely, no membership site for that niche, more than likely, I know there's going to be the temptation to think, oh, I found the golden egg. Probably not, you didn't, okay? Probably somebody set one up and it didn't work out. That's probably what happened. Now we're going to sort the list. What you're going to do is, let me get the rest of this stuff up here. My slide must have gotten backwards or something. What you're going to do is evaluate each thing that's left in your list and give it 1 point for everything on the left that it matches up to, and give it 2 points for everything on the right that it matches up to. Okay? So, if my niche was going to be hunting, for example, I would go through here and I would say related affiliate programs. Yes, there are, if I do some research and I find out that there are affiliate programs out there for hunting stuff, I'd give it a check and I'd put, a 1 by hunting. Advertising opportunities. I go to Google and I see if people are advertising. I go to other hunting websites and I see if people are advertising there. If they are, give that a point. Check it off. Desperate or impulsive. This is going to be speculative. You have to consider this. I personally would say hunting is not desperate and impulsive, so I wouldn't check that off. If it's something like an acne problem, and you want to set up some kind of membership site for dealing with extreme cases of acne or something, I don't know. But then that would be desperate or impulsive because, they've got embarrassment in there and they've got, maybe they got to get ready to go to the prom, whatever. But if it's not, then you just don't check it off and you don't give any points. Membership mentality. I would say hunting does have that. It's like a hunting buddy kind of thing. Need for ongoing support. A lot of this stuff is tied together because I'll tell you this. With the magazines, that's one thing that shows you there's a need for ongoing support. Because, there are some things that people will just be able to learn and then that's it. They have mastered it and they go on. But there are other things that require that ongoing support. With hunting, the magazines, I'll tell you what, they just, I don't know, it seems like every year, I subscribe to quite a few magazines. Every year, it's basically the same kind of story that they're telling, especially with hunting. But they're just trying to do it in a different way, or there's something new where they're trying to put a twist on it. But it's basically the same kind of thing. So, need for ongoing support, I don't necessarily think that I would put hunting as need for ongoing support, just me personally. And it's going to be kind of subjective. You're going to have to make that decision yourself. Year-round sales, evergreen. Now, here it's going to get a little bit tricky, with hunting at least. What I would have to do is I'd have to consider what kind of hunting membership site am I going to set up. If I'm going to do, just hunting in general, then I might be okay, because there is opportunity to do different kinds of hunting at different seasons. And I could have different sections in my membership site and a forum and all of that. And potentially there, I could go ahead and say, year-round, yes, it's definitely going to be okay, because, they've got the deer season, and then they're going to do turkey, and they're going to do, coyote and fox and all these different things, if I'm tying it together. If, however, I was doing a hunting website, hunting membership site that was specifically for deer, that probably wouldn't be a good deal then, because that is going to be seasonal. There's a deer season, and it's not very long, at least not long enough for me. And what that means is that during the off season, not probably really going to get a lot of traffic to my membership site. Nobody's going to be like busting the doors down to get in, because maybe a month or two even before deer season opens up, I might see some people coming in because they want to read up and learn and stuff. And then throughout the season, fine, but then it's going to taper off after that. I don't want that, right? So depending on the kind of site that you're going to set up, you got to think about these things. If it is year-round, put a check, put a 1 beside it. Okay, now, these over here, these are worth 2 points because they carry more impact. Do I have a personal interest or a skill? In other words, is this something that I really like and enjoy, and do I know how to do it? If that is the case, check it off. Give yourself 2 points for that particular idea. High ticket market. Are there expensive things that could be sold in this niche? With hunting, of course, I've got rifles, I've got bows, crossbows, and yes, you can actually sell this stuff even though it's a membership site. If nothing else, you can go to CJ and you can get an affiliate link, and you can promote a crossbow to the people on your membership site that are bow hunters. And when they click the link and they go to the website for the CJ vendor, you're going to get a commission on that. So if there's high ticket items, 2 there. A story to tell. The reason this is so powerful, and it's in the right column here, is because it's a high selling point. If you've got a story to tell, like, for example, I say that you were fixing to declare bankruptcy, or your house was going to be foreclosed on, or whatever, and you got yourself out of financial hardship, and now you're making, $200K a year. If you've got that story that you can personally tell, very powerful, very, very powerful. Existing membership sites. If there are already sites out there, again, remember I said that's not a bad thing. That doesn't scare us off. That excites us. Yes, there are successful membership sites out there. All I got to do is differentiate myself, do something a little better or a little different, and then get the traffic. And I'm going to have, I'm probably going to be successful as well because there's people interested. Is there an existing association or magazine? You need to find them. And what I would say with this is, because actually everything that is, most of the stuff that's on your list right now should have already passed the 30-second do or die test, but there still could be some things on there, that you were just got an idea when you did the brainstorming kind of stuff and looked at eHow and all those different kind of sites. If, though, there are that you just find one magazine, give yourself just 1 point for that particular idea. And if there are multiple magazines, then give yourself 2 points. I would say, actually, let's say 1 to 2 magazines for the first one, and then 3 or more is worth 2 points. Because that means the more magazines, the more potential, the more room, and that means that probably the supply is going to be less than the demand. And ideally, that's what we would like, is where there's a hole, essentially, and you need to be able to fill it. Okay, so now you're going to take all of your list, and if you do this in Excel, it's totally, totally easy, but basically you're going to take your list, you're going to add up all the points, Get rid of the ones that have been scratched off or eliminated already. Okay, and then you're going to sort the list based on the number of points that that particular idea has. And what do you think you're going to do? You're going to take the one that has the most points. That's where you're going to start. That doesn't mean that you write off all the other ones. In fact, I suggest that you do start like an Excel spreadsheet and put them all in there and save that and leave it, because once you get another, once you get this membership working and it's pretty much on autopilot, you're going to set up another one, and you've already got your list in front of you, sorted even, so you know where you're probably going to start next. All right, what we're going to talk about in the next video is ways that we keep our members involved and longer retention. In other words, a lot of membership sites, they get people to come in, they stay for 2 or 3 months, and then they end up leaving. We want to make our website, our membership, so compelling that people don't want to cancel that membership.